mid-session on Wednesday.
This is Bloomberg Technology. I'm Emily Chang. Just a week after topping $8,000, Bitcoin is approaching 5 figures, gaining mainstream market attention as it defies bubble warnings. One of Bitcoin's biggest bulls on Wall Street spoke at a New York conference earlier. Galaxy Investment Partners founder Mike Novogratz urged caution.
So I think this is going to become the biggest bubble of our lifetimes by a long shot, mostly because it's so global.
I want the record to show I didn't say that.
Mostly because it's so global.
Novogratz is starting a $500 million fund to invest in cryptocurrencies and says Bitcoin could easily match gold's $8 trillion market cap. Adam White is vice president of Coinbase. He joins us now from New York. Coinbase is an online platform that allows users to buy or sell Bitcoin by connecting with their bank accounts. It has almost tripled its user base this past year, now standing at 13 million. So, Adam, biggest bubble of our lifetime? Do you agree?
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I think that the price is an easy metric for everyone to point at and to look at. It's widely covered, it's fascinating, and it's one important quantitative indicator to look at the success of this technology. But we spend a lot of time in the space also looking at what's the actual utility, how many people are using this technology, what's the daily transactional volume. That happens separate from the price, and that we're also seeing great growth in.
Now, talk to us about the growth at Coinbase, the accounts tripling to 13 million in the last year. You know, where do you see that growth going? Yeah,
so we started this year with around 5 million retail customers on Coinbase.com. And Coinbase.com is effectively the easiest way to get started buying and selling with a little bit of digital currency. We're now reporting over 12 million retail customers. And what we've seen with that is really Coinbase becoming the easy on-ramp to the digital currency space. In addition to onboarding customers, we actually report our total trading volume, and we've seen over $50 billion worth of cryptocurrency traded on our platform alone. These are both great kind of leading indicators that we're seeing average everyday users now beginning to adopt and experiment with this technology.
You know, it may not be the biggest bubble of our lifetime, according to you, but there is a lot of volatility. I want you to take a look at a chart on the Bloomberg G hashtag BTV. 1909. This compares Bitcoin's volatility to the euro dollar, the most traded currencies out there. You know, what do you make of this volatility, and how can people put trust in this currency if this kind of volatility keeps up?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I do think this volatility is going to be short-lived in the lifespan of digital currencies like Bitcoin. We are in the very early innings of the introduction of this technology right now, and rightfully so, we're watching the market kind of engage in this process of price discovery. And with that, we're seeing rapid increases and also recoveries, decreases in the price. What's really interesting is I co-authored a paper with Chris Berniski out of ARK Invest last year, and what we looked at was the 2016 volatility of Bitcoin compared to some other asset classes. And what we found that Bitcoin was as volatile as both oil and less volatile than Twitter stock in the year 2016. So in my opinion, we're seeing volatility right now. That's not a bad thing. More liquid markets with institutional capital entering the space is ultimately going to decrease that volatility and make digital currencies like Bitcoin a really viable financial instrument for the world.
Still, there are skeptics like Jamie Dimon, who has famously called Bitcoin a fraud. We also heard from Glenn Hutchins, co-founder of Silver Lake, you know, about this word fraud as it relates to Bitcoin. Take a listen to what he had to say.
There's been a discussion about kind of bubbles and frauds that have percolated around our universe, right? Yes. And I think it's very, very important to make a distinction between a bubble and a fraud. Right? If you go back and look at 1999, 2000, the internet stocks were in a bubble. We look back on it, and that's pretty obvious in retrospect. Yeah. But if you had bought and held the very best internet companies during that time period, you made a lot of money. You would have still made a lot. You would have made a lot of money from where we sit today. And it's very clear that the internet was not a fraud.
Adam, what do you make of those remarks?
Look, I would draw some parallels, right? It's difficult to say that we're not in a period of kind of rapid price appreciation for Bitcoin, but also that's true for the global digital currency market. We're now at over $300 billion for all digital currencies. Bitcoin is the largest, but it's just one of those as well. That said, I would say that this technology is far from a fraud, right? You now have the ability to send Bitcoin to anyone, anywhere in the world, as if you're sending an email. But instead of sharing information, you're able to share value. I think that is going to be just a tremendously impact, a very big change to the way in which the global financial system will work in our lives and in generations to come.
Let's talk about some of the other cryptocurrencies out there. Fred Wilson of Union Square Ventures told me he thought that Ethereum could surpass Bitcoin in short order. It hasn't happened yet. Is that even possible at this point?
Bitcoin certainly has the reputation and the most widely recognized brand as a digital currency, but again, it's only one. The best comparison to something like Bitcoin versus Ethereum is that Bitcoin is in effect a big worldwide database. It's an easy way to share value using a master ledger. Ethereum attempts to be a worldwide supercomputer, so you can effectively run smart contracts, scripts, without any central entity. To me, that is not competitive to Bitcoin and is not going to replace it. It's very complementary. And what we're seeing are other projects working on creating a meta blockchain to connect all these individual blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
All right. Adam White with Coinbase. As always, Adam, great to have you here on the show.
Thanks, Emily.
Meantime, Tesla CEO Elon Musk says no, he is not the person behind Bitcoin and that he's forgotten where he keeps his. Musk tweeted on Tuesday in response to a viral blog post that suggested he is the creator of Bitcoin. Musk said, quote, "Not true. A friend sent me part of a Bitcoin a few years back, but I don't know where it is." Coming up, more of my exclusive conversation with HPE CEO Meg Whitman. We turn to politics.